don't need to make all these disturbances related to open cuts and open trenches around in our cities and also outside. And I would say that we have today, this morning, got the confirmation that Trenchless technology is a sustainable technology. Is a technology for our underground utilities, which are here to stay, and of course grow. I continue with the quotes. Here I took me the freedom to make a copy from the LCCF, the Low Carbon Cities Framework. You can see here a nice picture with the urban area, with aircraft, with cars, and so on. But where do we see the trenches in this picture? I can't find it. And as I mentioned, I've taken the opportunity to study this Green Master Technology Plan a bit closer. And it's a very comprehensive document. It's a good document. But to be honest, I'm actually missing the last part here. What is below our surface or below the asphalt. The Trenchless technology. There are 2 points of the LCCF which should be taken into consideration. The components are low carbon cities framework. This framework identifies potential areas that can be targeted to reduce the carbon emission via the systematic review. And Trenchless method sits here perfectly in this scheme, in my opinion. And that will help to deliver a reduction in carbon emissions, especially when with increased know-how, education and awareness. And here you can see the importance of MATT and the work we have in front of us to actually inform the politicians, to inform the citizens, to inform all involved that there are technologies which actually doesn't require that we open streets. We can work with a technology which do not disturb as much as open cuts has done over the past hundreds of years. The second component in this is the low carbon emission and how to measure. There's always a question about, yes, we have done this, we have done that, we have reduced our CO2 footprint, but how do you calculate? How do you calculate? How do you compare the change of a pipeline network or a section of a pipeline network? How do you compare that in terms of reduction of kilos or tons of CO2 or in general greenhouse gases? And therefore, during the last few years, it has been developed so-called carbon calculators. Very often started as projects in university, but also nowadays in Europe and in Germany, we see more and more companies take on board this initiative taken by young, clever students, how to combine the knowledge with the industry. So again, I see here a big and a great future, and we will also be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, even more accurate in terms of comparing the carbon footprint with technologies established for many, many decades and so-called new technologies. Another quote from the master plan. It's the service operators of sewage treatment plants are faced with high operational and maintenance costs, while revenue from sewer tariffs are below the costs. Furthermore, high costs are needed to upgrade the old sewage treatment plants. I've been here in Malaysia and had the opportunity to to be in Malaysia for the past 15 years. The first time I came to Malaysia was 2004. And I have been invited, like today, to see the beautiful thing we have done in terms of putting up in the middle of a large city. Fantastic building. Well done, actually well done. But we have to remember to feed these treatment plants with the wastewater. We have in this country 20,000 kilometers of sewers. 20,000 kilometers of sewers. We know, all of us, that to replace those sewers will cost money. They will not last forever. And I have also had the opportunity to be here talking during the Malaysia second sewer conference, and that is question come up with the building. One issue here in Malaysia, and the problem for the maintenance operator in the water, in my opinion, is that people here, citizens, do not pay the bills. How could that be sorted? The cost for a family per month is about €2 or 8 shillings. It is not more. It's a cup of coffee, but we don't pay. These are things we have to support. Companies like IWK, Pfizer and his team, to get people to understand. And I think your incentive here to make this treatment plant in the middle of a large city and to actually show that below your feet you are treating hundreds of thousands of liters of water every day, millions of gallons of this. So again, I think we have to help each other to support each other to understand better how can we contribute to have a greener environment? How can we contribute to have a society in urban areas which is greener than we have? We can see that our politicians are doing that with supporting budgets for investments of this scale. 1 billion, it's a lot of money. And therefore it is also our duty to contribute at least to pay our bills. So that is something I would like to highlight here as an important part of a sustainable development of our green technology. I take another quote. There are a lot of kata initiatives which have been implemented by the key stakeholders in Malaysia, in the water sector as well as the wastewater sector, like SPAM, like JPP, like IWK, and so on. And what we've seen here today with Mr. Faisal's presentation, it's one of them. And therefore, I have a very strong confidence. I'm very confident that what you have started here in terms of green thinking, in terms of setting up a green agenda, to get that consolidated by the parliament, by the government, is important. Now it is to spread this out to more people. We have a situation in Europe which is different from country to another. I'm born and raised up in a very small country up north, Sweden. Cold country where we have -30 in the winter, plus 20, 25 maximum in the summer. Not permafrost, but at least 9 months of snow. We need to have a sewer system, we need to have infrastructure working. Totally different demand than what we can see here. But also we come back to this, it's not only wastewater when we talk about green agenda, it's also how we handle our waste, how we handle our way of living. And that will be a big difference between south and north. And since 17, 18 years living in Spain, that we have had a